Alright, welcome to the graffiti jungle. Paulo Pulengue. Benvenuti nella giungla del graffiti. Questo è Impostore Rockstar. It's a fake Rockstar chat show. Pensieri Tangentiali, formerly known as Tangential Thoughts Chat Show. Shout out to Bailey. Podcast We Cigar Talk Podcast. It's been 4 days we haven't been able to work on. It's been 4 days in 2026. Haven't been able to work on a podcast yet, but when we do, it'll be Questo è Primo Soggetto, the first subject. Sono to a copy of Sono, Chief Gihareh Julius Caesar got secure on the boat. Cowboy Bebop, session 25. Cowboy Bebop, session 25. 25. Now, I enjoyed this session more than the last session. Let me see something. Let's go here, let's go here, and let's go here. Okay. So, I enjoyed this session more than I did the last session. So, what can I say? All right. It starts off with a lady walking, and it's raining, and she has an umbrella, of course. She walks into the building, and she walks into the building, presses a little voicemail, and she gets a call. They're coming. Go quietly, go quickly. They're coming to get her. That's how the session starts, right? So I was like, what type of lifestyle? What's she living to make them like, somebody's coming to get her, right? That's how it starts off. She's walking in the rain. She walks into the little apartment building. She plays the jump. They're coming. Go quietly, go quickly. That's how it starts off. This session is called The Real Folk Blues. Now from here, Vicious. Vicious is the one that Spike doesn't like to be compared to. Now, Vicious goes and has a failed coup. So if you don't know what coup is, C-O-U-P. Coup d'etat. A coup d'etat, C-O-U-P, coup d'etat is D'-E-T-A-T. It means a blow to the head. I think that's French. So a coup d'etat means a blow to the head. You take out whoever the leader is, and you eliminate the leader so that you can assume power, right? So Vicious walks in with a group of people, but it's just curtains and this and the third, boom, boom. And then the lights come on, and it was like, yeah, we seen the one lady, she warned us. She said when the snake, this, that, and the third on the red moon, a snake would come bite and strike. And basically, they went and saw this lady, and she warned them that something basically going to happen. So they was basically waiting for him, and it was like, yeah, basically he has a failed coup d'etat, trying to take over whatever. It was like a little sneak attack. But Vicious walks around with like this bird on his Vicious walks around with a bird on his shoulder. The bird flew up, and then they take Vicious into custody. So that's that. Then it cuts to a bar, the Loser Bar. I thought was the actual cool name. So Jet and Spike are at the Loser Bar getting drinks, and they kind of started talking. And Jet is on some, I should have known, like, because Spike didn't want. He was like, kids and women with attitudes. And why are both of them on the boat? Oh, no. Kids, animals, and women with attitude. And why are all three on this boat? Not the boat, on Bebop, on the ship right now. So there's that, right? That's how the whole thing was quiet. But Ein and Spike, not Ein and Spike, Ein and Ed, the kid and the dog, left. And Faye left. But, Faye be in and out anyway. So Jet is sitting there at the bar, and he's talking like that. He's like, oh, yeah, I know how you feel. I know. You should just listen to you. He said something along those lines. But while they're there at the bar, they see, like, outside, some figures outside the bar. And they're like, duck and cover, roll, shootout. So it's a whole little shootout at the bar. And then what ends up happening is basically one of the people, Spike sees one of the people, and he was like, and but I think he said like Gene, but it's not Gene or whatever, and or he kind of like looks like him, but I think Gene got shot already in a different episode, so I think he looks at him, but he's like, no, I'm Sheen or like Shin or like I'm his brother, and so they kind of sort of looking like he's like I'm gonna cover you, but basically like Vicious tried to do a coup d'état, it didn't work out, and now they're coming for everybody that left the. Forgive me if I'm with the syndicate. I'm not sure if the Red Dragon is a syndicate, but whoever's part of Red Dragon but then left, um, they're looking for all those people. So they're looking for you. I'm gonna cover you while you get out of here. So uh, Spike and Jet, Jet gets shot in the leg. Jet gets shot in the leg. So but Spike and Jet leave from the shootout at the bar. Then um at some point, I'm trying to remember like what was really going on in between, but I'm trying to figure out did Spike go somewhere or something? Something was happening and Spike called Faye and he was like, yo, this time the third, like Jet can't be right by himself. Like he got shot in the leg. He didn't say that he got shot in the leg, but Jet can't be right by himself in this and third. But she was like, what makes you think I'm coming back? Like, and then she's like, I'm not coming back anyway. Like, Jet's not alone. But she don't know that Edward and the dog left. But she was like, Ed and Ein are there. Like, he's not alone. He's not third. Um, so I'm not sure there's another little part I'm missing. But then uh, after Spike calls Faye and tells her this and that third, she's like, I ain't coming back this and that third. Boom, boom, boom. Then she hang up on Spike. Then from around the corner, a red car pull up around the corner, and a black car is like chasing her, chasing her. So the girl from the beginning of the session that had got the call, like, yeah, you need to leave. We need to leave. Go quickly and go quietly. The girl who got the call, she's riding in the red car, and she drive past Faye. Faye just getting out her ship after she just hung up on Spike, and then it's a black car that come around the corner, chasing her, and so but Faye sees that it's a woman, and they chasing her. So the red car goes down. It's basically trying to shake the other car, but it goes down and then loops back around. So Faye gets in the middle of the street, and she shoots the tire out in one car, and then as the car coming up, Faye hops in the car, and then they drive off, and then as the other car is like chasing them still, Faye does it again. She gets the other car, and the other car flips. So then they get to talking, and so Faye initially tried to make this little alliance or whatever. She's like, yeah, she's like, thanks for saving my life back there. It's like, yeah. Then we gotta look out for each other this and that third, boom, boom, boom. And then she was like, uh, we could work together. You know what I'm saying? We could partner up. You want to partner up? And but the lady's like, nah, I got some business. I got some stuff I gotta handle. I got some stuff I gotta take care of. And so Faye was like, okay. And but she was like, I'll drop you back off back at your ship, or your little airplane or whatever. So then she goes to drop her back off, and when she drops her back off, Faye was like, do I know you? Oh, no, 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 no. So the lady was like, I never caught your name. She was like, Faye Valentine. It's a common name. And she looks over at her, she's like, what's your name? And she was like, Julia. It's a common name too. Um, so when she does drop her off, she's like, do I know you from somewhere? And she was like, uh, tell, no, I think I'm not sure if she said tell Spike, but she said, tell Spike I'll be waiting for him. And he should know what that means. And she was like, huh? And when she drives off, she's like, how do you know I know Spike? And whatever. Um, but she did ask, like, do I know you? And then she's like, tell Spike I'll be waiting. Yeah, I'll be waiting there. He'll know what that means. And she's like, how do you know I know Spike? Then, which part does get a call? Jet gets a call from one of his old cop friends, and he basically tells him like, yeah, there was that whole coup d'etat thing. Anybody that had anything to do with that whole Red Dragon syndicate who left, They're coming after all those people. So they're coming after Spike and they're coming after Julia. So the Spike and Jet had a conversation, and he was like, why can't you just like let certain things go, this and the third, and Spike was basically like, yeah, Julia is that, she, she's that part of him, or she makes him feel like that's that part of him that he lost, or he that or that yeah, a part of him that he lost. That's what she represents to him, like life worth living. That's what Julia represents to him, like um, or whatever. So then uh, Faye comes in and he's like fixing up his whatchamacallit. And she was like, he was like, is there something you want to say? Like, you got some information. She's like, but it's going to cost you. He's like, I don't have any money to sit there. Whatchamacallit. And then he like, um, the plane, Bebop starts to get like, I guess like the syndicate or whatever, or is at Bebop and starting to shoot the plane up or whatever. So she was like something. So she said something, and he was like, "Well, maybe they followed. How'd they find you?" And he was like, "Well, maybe they followed you here." And she was like, "Oh." And then like he starts to get into the plane, and she was like, "Well, she said to meet you, that you, to meet her there, and you know what that means." He was like, "Well, I don't. No goodness what he do," but um, he gets into his ship, and then he goes out, and then it's like the little airplane fight or whatever. It's the little airplane fight. So he does his little airplane fight thing, and then when he come back to Bebop, Jet was like, "Yeah, man, go find what you lost. Go ahead and go see her." So Jet, no, Spike goes to go see Julia, and at now back at the Red Dragon, back at the Red Dragon, so it was a failed coup d'etat. It was a failed coup. Vicious and whoever he came with, right? So they had Vicious locked up. And it was like, at first Vicious was like, just take me out, if that's what you're gonna do. And it was like, you can't decide when you're going to this and the third. You gotta have some humility or whatever. So then it was like, you got any last words or any last whatever requests and da da da. He was like, nothing. And then so, but right before the whole thing kind of sort of like supposed to go down, they're supposed to take him out. His bird flies in, and then there's like some whole little, and then I think, from what I can tell, it seems as if some of those people who were there then switched. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the people who are actually already working there, it's either they switched or some. That's what it kind of sort of seemed like. And so, but then they end up taking out those Red Dragon people who were officially there first. And so like they actually perform the coup. And so then Vicious is like, from now on, the only rule that matters is my rule. So Vicious takes over the Red Dragon. Um, but other than that, Spike does go to the spot. Now they had this little flashback scene. I'm not sure when this popped up, but there was a flashback scene of Spike talking to Julia, and he was like, "Yeah, we can get out," and she was like, "And do what? And go where?" And he was like, "Live and be free." Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just gonna be like a dream. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, "They'll whatchamacallit, they'll take us out. It's just not like possible. That's just not how things are gonna happen." Um, and then he gives her a note, and he was like, "Well, meet me here, by the graveyards, by the graveyard. I won't, not in the graveyard." He says that to her, but later, then there's this other little clip where Vicious has a to her head, and he was like, "Would you think this is at a third?" And he also says, and so she was like, "Well, what are you gonna do?" And he was like, "I'm not gonna take him out. You gonna take him out." And he was like, "Either you take him out, or both of y'all getting taken out." He said, "Those are your only options." So, but mind you, that's like a flashback of like years ago. So like now that the fact that Julia and Spike are like now, because Vicious decided to do this whole thing, now the Syndicate or the Red Dragon, they're coming after all the people. They're coming after Julia and Spike to take them out anyway. So Vicious actually performs the whole thing. He takes over, assume control of the Red Dragon, but Spike and Julia are still like under siege in a sense. And so, uh, but like I said, Jet said, "Go ahead, go find what you lost." And so Spike goes back, and he goes over, and then at the little graveyard, John, like there's like a rose on the ground. I think he picks that up, and then Julie is there. So mind you, they haven't seen each other in like a really long time. I think Julie is there, and then she just pulls out a gun. So Spike has been shot multiple times. Spike has been shot multiple times, um, even in movies. So I'm not even sure about this whole thing or whatever. So this was session 25, 25, and then there's only one more session. We're getting to the last session of Cowboy Bebop, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be part two. It's going to be a continuation of this one, and like I like the vibe of this like session, and that's why like some other ones kind of just feel like they just kind of sort of feel like fillers or this and the third. So I would like to I don't know. There's just a couple episodes that kind of like stick out, and that's been one of my like my little me nitpicking about Cowboy Bebop. But this right here, like this right here, is my pretty boy swag. Anyway, but this feels like of what I kind of sort of wanted it to be like, and more so of staying right here and in this Western vibe. So I think it was like whatever they had that part one, part two. I think that was like 12, 13, or 13, 14. It might be 12, 13 when they had a part one, part two. Like those were the ones that's like, yeah, like stringing it together, not rushing anything. But I think even then, like the first part, the last time the first part felt really good, and then the last part was just like a